Darryl, pre-season training just about completed, 2 friendlies played, but now it gets a little bit more serious with the trip to York this weekend in the 1895 Cup.
Yeah, obviously an important game for us, first competition game. I think we've had a really good pre-season. The 2 games have been really good for us. I think the Leeds game was obviously right in the middle of pre-season, but it opened up sort of more knowledge really about where the players were at and the things that we worked on and what we needed to do a little bit more on. And I thought, particularly in the first half against Leeds, I thought we were outstanding with the ball. And then, obviously, Wigan, tough game, the big middle unit that they had. I thought we were outstanding in that game defensively. And obviously, it finished a little bit earlier than we wanted it to, but we got so much out of it. I think a lot of confidence, the players taking on a pack as formidable as Wigan's and fronting up. Did a great job, so I feel like we're just ready to go. York's going to be a good challenge. Just watching their game against Newcastle, which they won reasonably comfortably. So they're a threat with the ball, but I think we're ready. I just think we're ready to go. We're looking forward to the challenge now.
It was 114 points to 10 against Newcastle. You mentioned you'd watched the game. 21 tries scored, so they're going to throw the ball about, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they conceded first as well. So that was it was interesting to see them do that. I think for Newcastle, there's going to be some real challenges this year. Obviously, with the way they've sort of reformed the club. But they played well, York. A lot of ball movement. They look pretty sharp, and we need to be mindful of that. Obviously, we will be. We're going to need to defend well against a team that moves the ball a lot. There's always real threats with the way that those types of teams are going to play. But we have to do what we want to do. We have to go and play our way and put York under pressure. Obviously, Newcastle didn't do that, and we'll be looking to put them under pressure, but recognise that they'll have some confidence about them, and we need to make sure we nullify that as soon as we get into the game, which will be a challenge for us.
Have you picked out any danger men?
Well, you've got quite a few, to be honest. I think as a team, they've been building, and they're really dangerous. Dagger at fullback played great in that game. I'm not sure who they'll pick at half. They've got a few options. Obviously, Myler's there and Garno's there. They've got quite a few options at half, and the middle unit likes to pass the ball. So. The back rowers like to play with the ball. I think they're going to be a real threat across the team. But I think we've got to concentrate on ourselves and getting us right. I think we've spoke about that all the way through pre-season. That obviously we'll pay respect to every opposition, but we've got to believe that what we've got is a really outstanding team. I think we've shown that in pre-season that we've got some real quality in every position. The team's going to be a tough one to select as we get everybody fit and obviously get the team right this week. And it's an important game for us. The way the 1895 Cup is formed this year, it's a big game. It's an important one, and York will feel the same.
Are you doing anything different this week in training, in preparation?
No, I just we had a good look last week at the way we want to train leading into games, and it's a similar week. It's the same week really. It's obviously a different opposition, but the way that we want to prepare is it's pretty consistent. We want to have some consistency in what we do this year. I think it breeds consistency within the team, and we'll have a look at York tomorrow, make sure that we're fully aware of what they're going to do, but ultimately I believe it's about how we play and the standards that we want to hold ourselves to this year.
Last week against Wigan, Luke Gale missed out, Mason Leno and Ian Thornley. Have you any updates, Darryl, on those guys?
As we roll through the week, Luke Gale trained today, Mason didn't, so Ian Thornley trained. But I've got some selection decisions to make as we roll through this week. Obviously, I want to get that right, and we'll give those guys every chance to be ready.
Isaiah Vanganar's arrived here at Trinity. Is it too late for him to come into consideration for selection?
Yeah, I think, you know, he had a swim yesterday. He did a little bit of light work today, just in and around the team. He'll do a little bit more tomorrow. I won't pick him at the weekend. I think the people that have been around him in pre-season deserve the right to be fighting for this first game. And I think it's right that we give Isaiah some time to settle in and get to know the people in the squad and also get to know how we play the game, and that's going to take a little bit of time. But he's fitted in well. He's a big boy. I'm having to look up to him when I'm talking to him. So and he comes across really well. So I think fans will be impressed with him. Looking forward to seeing him in practice consistently, and then we'll see where he fits in.
And finally, Darryl, how important is it to start with a win?
Oh, yeah, as I mentioned, the 1895 Cup is, you know, it's a slightly different format this year, and you need to start well. You need to start well. So York have obviously had a competitive fixture against Newcastle. We had a real good hit out last week, and we're ready to go. But yeah, it's an important game.
And Darryl, is it too early to mention the away trip to Siddle in the Challenge Cup next weekend?
Well, you know, we know what we've got ahead of us now. I mean, it's strange that you pick two rounds in advance. Obviously, Siddle, and then you know, the interesting one. If we do get through that, then you're into the Hunslet or Loch Lane. So yeah, interesting. I think you know, Siddle have been an outstanding club and team, and throughout all the system, I think they've done an unbelievable job there. The amount of players that come out of that club is outstanding. So yeah, look, again, you just pay respect to the opposition and make sure that you're right at your standard. But you know, the amateur game's a big part of what we do in this country in rugby league, and it's good to see him in the Challenge Cup. And we look forward to it when we get there, but obviously get this week right first.
You mentioned the Challenge Cup, and then we've got Newcastle, and then a home tie if we get through against Hunslet or Loch Lane. And you mentioned about player selection. Might those matches give you a chance to rotate the squad?
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see when we get there. But I think there's an opportunity for some players who perhaps come later into pre-season to get a chance to be out there. You know, we've got a pretty strong squad at the moment. We've got some players who obviously won't be playing this week, and I need to be mindful of making sure that we keep everybody tuned in as we roll through the first month in particular. But yeah, I think key thing is game at a time. Don't get too ahead of ourselves. Make sure that we're focused on what's in front of us, and that's York, obviously.